Okie dokie, Reginald here. I've been asked to provide a VOD review for this game. This looks like a 3-veg solo attempt on a Fat Mangus build, and so we're going to go ahead and review this on that basis. I've already watched this once, and it will change, so I've got a good idea about what's going to go on in this game, and we'll just kind of watch our way through it. It's not that long, 23 minutes, so let's go. We start a little bit halfway in here. Okay. I want to stop you right here. First thought I had when I saw this sequence was just, why didn't you just quick shoot him with your laspistol a couple times? If you get a couple crits, those are burn stacks, and they'll help you kill him faster. I don't care that you missed the headshot. Shit happens. Obviously, you already know that you need to hit the headshot. But just, you probably, when he bonked you there, could have hit the couple of las shots, and just a little bit of extra action economy would have gotten you a little bit extra damage. Not critical, just something you could do, right? Smooth. Very good. Yep, alright, so there you go. So now you're bringing the laspistol into play. You can see his health is ticking down because of that. That is too bad. Good choice here. Yep, good. This is all very clean at the beginning, just for the audience to know, if those of you who are going to watch this. It's genuinely a pretty good sequence. Very good. Yep, good use of the corner there to avoid the bursters. Either you heard the second one, or rather you just instinctually knew that shit was going to go wrong. That's what you have to do with bursters. You have to assume that something bad is going to happen. Very good. Oh, you love to see it. Fuck Beast of Nurgle. What a terrible enemy in this game. Yep, good. Choice on the back out. I like it. Get your toughness back, kill that bulwark. He's the biggest threat in this room. I love that knife. You don't have to use a knife like that, but you might as well use them. You know, it's one of those situations where you've got plenty, and there's plenty of enemies, especially since you're solo. You gotta love it. Remember when they used to not have any cleave? Yeah, I do. Very good. Finish everybody off with the big sweeps using the reach of this weapon. Got the hound too. Didn't even notice myself. I thought you missed it. Very good. This was a little bit dangerous because you kind of uncloaked and dodged into a pile of enemies, but I mean, you're fine. You're playing Fat Mangus. You got a little leeway. So I like this. You recognize that you're getting swarmed. You're going to try and back up into a little bit easier place to play. I have no issues with this. Not moving here. Kind of linearizing everything. I like the hit on the barrel. Focus on the bulwark. Yep, good. He's actually the bigger threat to you. The crusher is not that big a deal. Good on the mauler. I don't know what you're going for here, other than just trying to buy yourself space. It's fine. But I don't know if you needed it. You could have saved that cooldown. Very good. Yep. Target priority is key here. That was honestly worth it. The flamer was your biggest threat here. So maybe if you were a little bit more precise with your knives, you could have just done a quick throw, but like honestly worth it to just isolate that one target. So with this many Maulers around, I just want to throw this out there. If you have the right blessings, which looks like you do, you've got Wrath built up, you can cleave multiple Mauler bodies. So rather than working on their head, just look to hit them all with the horizontal swings, and you'll eventually chop through them a little faster that way than trying to go for single hits. Obviously, your main goal here, which you're doing very well, is just to avoid taking too much. Obviously, your goal here in general is to avoid taking too much aggro all at once. So you're just kind of poking and thinning things out and making things easier on yourself in the long run. So I get that. Against those two bombers there, you could have gone for a knife throw instead of spending the ammo, because and we're going to talk about this in a second because I did watch this section already, but we kind of want to spend our ammo on the boss here just to thin him out. This is very risky. Okay, so I don't think this was a good play. You should have kept going on a loop. You don't want to get yourself stuck in stairs. Look at how much stuff is in front of you. You don't have cloak anymore, and you basically spent it to get very low value. This is a good choice if the flamer doesn't kill you, because you're actually using the muty to get out of the situation. This is one of the funny things about muties, is they can actually save your bacon. Good choice killing him there. So again, I think I would be looking for horizontals here and taking advantage of the high cleave from Wrath. Shame about those sniper shots. I like the fact that you're abusing the knife cancel tech. Very good target priority on the trapper. I am also paranoid about that burster, but you had time. Good knife. Great knife. Good use of space. No, don't let yourself get hit by that, because now you have to wait it all out before you can get back into the fight, and you had stealth, so... I don't think he has the ability to detect you through stealth, so if you can get it here, that's great. Good stab tech. Oh, you missed the back shot by a sliver somehow. That sucks. Here, the overheads are the correct choice. You want the reach, and you want to poke those maulers out. You're playing to the length of the sword, which is good. That's what you want. Good priority again on the... so here is a problem. There is space here for you to sneak in some shots on the Beast of Nurgle at points. I'm not saying, like, right now, but, like, I think there are opportunities where you could have maybe just whipped it out quick, hit a couple of Infernus stacks on him, and move about your business, just to try to burn him down. Remember, if you can stack with them, that weapon is incredibly good. That's fine, I don't care. You can use a gun or knife there, it doesn't matter. Okay, you're going for the back shot. I get it, but you should also be looking for opportunities to build those Infernus stacks with your laspistol. I don't object to the way you're playing. Like, I think it's totally acceptable, but I think you're kind of lacking an opportunity for APM. Does that make sense? Like, if you were walking away backwards and shooting him right now, you're gonna have the advantage of actions in your favor. Because those burn stacks, I assume you have the burns, right? Like, you're using Dum Dum and Furnace, you're not using something else. Don't forget, you get a crit bonus when you're aiming down sights, so you want to aim for that guy and try to let him fire. That needed to be a knife, because he's green. Okay, and this must be a 3-veg then, because... There you go. So was it just that you were just trying to get the one shot? I still think you should, you know, there you go. See, look at the amount of free damage there. It makes that one shot much more free. This weapon has a really high finesse crit modifier too, so if you are shooting into bosses. So I think it's fine that you just kind of block or like dodge this guy, but you can intentionally cash his charge just to stop him, and then just fight him, right? I think it's fine. Knife. So, I'm not saying you had to do this here, because you were probably saving for the Beast of Nurgle, but a funny thing you can do there is use your stealth to make the Trapper hide, and then do your stealth attack from behind on the Plague Ogre. Like, knife the Trapper, and then Plague Ogre. It's just a different order of operations than I would have done. It's not necessarily better or worse, if that makes sense. I have a bit more of an aggro playstyle. But, I mean, this is a 3-veg solo. It can be very challenging. And there is a desire to play cautious when you're doing a 3-veg solo. So I get it, by all means. I mean, I was so cautious for my first one, and I was playing Hive Scum. I was just, like, absolutely being super careful, so. So, there's so much time here where you're not filling this guy with las gun rounds. And the reason that's a problem is you don't have to get the one shot. Like, yeah, it's satisfying, it's fun, whatever. But he could be at like half health, and if you whiff it, then he might still die or be very close to dead, right? But instead, you're like running around waiting for your cooldown so you can get the back shot. And if you miss the back shot, you know, okay, cool. But not, so you don't even have the back shot. Imagine if he was already down half his health from all the Infernus stacks and Dum Dum crit hits on headshot, right? And then you walked in and did that half health, and he'd have like, you know, a couple of hits left, and you might just finish him off with like some knives or finish him off with your laspistol or just melee. Instead, you're having to like dance around a bunch because you haven't been using this laspistol to its full advantage. Like, it is a really good boss damage dealer.
That's the sniper did.
I would have just double knifed there. You had a headshot on the first one. Do the second one. That's funny. And then look at how you're just kind of like running away from this guy, waiting for your cooldown so you can get the back shot. Could have just laspistol. You'd already been moved forwards.
The abomination's dead.
You've got 10 knives and you're not using them. Yeah, there you go. Keep in mind, you want to spend a few knives. You want to be sitting closer to like 6 on average because they recover from ammo pickups. They recover from elite melee kills and specialist melee kills. So spending them instead of your las pistol is good. That was cool and fun. Don't worry about that. Doesn't matter if we're efficient or not. You gotta get those. You gotta get those good plays in there. This is a neat little maneuver. You know, honestly, I would have just rushed that shooter down, and I think what you did here was actually smart. You gave yourself a good piece of terrain to play around. Easy kill. I don't know why you got hit there. That feels really bad. This sucks. I think you dodged into a piece of terrain. Until death, I would not have used that here. I would have sucked the until death because the Medicaid is right here. This is an interesting choice. You're just kind of forcing it. I think it's okay. This is all fine. Like, if you're gonna rush mid, like, this is an acceptable choice. I think you did that really well, actually. Using that, this is what I'm always talking about using a mobility weapon with your relic blade. So, great choice. There's gonna be a few differences in playstyle between the two of us, of course. Nothing's wrong with that. Okay. You should be shooting the boss here. I believe Infernus stacks are not damaged, but even still, just weakening him up a little bit. You've got 452 ammo, man. Like, spend a little bit of it. Hit that stim when you go in for the kill too. Is that a barrel? Not your fault, really. I didn't notice it either. I watched this twice. I was wondering what happened the first time. I didn't bother to go back to check. Must have been a barrel. Good block. This is all fine. High priority targets include those trappers, of course. I understand what you're doing here, but I really think you need to be putting some shots down range. Get a reload in. Get your shots down range. Like, do something. Oh, that was almost perfect. I don't care. You're fat mangoes. You can eat those. You're a hungry, hungry hippo. Okay, look at how much health he has left. If you had burned him down a bit, he would have died. Or if you hit the stim before you hit that, he would have died. Do you have to use the stim in there? No. But you'll probably find another one. So, I mean, killing this Chaos run is kind of like getting rid of the biggest pressure on you right now because he's such a space hog. There he goes. Nice. There's nothing wrong with killing him in melee, but like I want you to think about how much easier this would be if he was already dead and you were just working on specialists and bulwarks, right? I just think now that good use of the terrain there. I heard that. I don't know what exactly it was, but I thought I heard a trapper in that. Maybe it was a shotgunner. Dodge.
shadows, colors.
That doesn't say you're doing good here. It's just good. Good old-fashioned kite and fight. Good. You could throw a knife there instead. Get better at your knives, and that's a easy knife kill. It's not that the laspistol is bad there. It's just that you could spend, like, look at how many elites there are. So, if like you can throw some knives into this too, just as you're fighting, and you know you're just gonna get them all back immediately, right? So it's just like free kills. You don't really have to in this case, but like I'm trying to explain, like, I'm saying right block. I apologize. I'm trying to explain why spending knives is so valuable to you here, because if you're throwing them more to practice and getting the angle right, and it's instant kills on some of these targets. Maybe not that exact situation, right? But like if you'd thrown it at the sniper earlier, you would have already gotten one back. If you'd thrown it at like a couple of random shooters and just thin things out as you have time, especially when you're soloing and you know you're in a shotgunner seed like this one. You're gonna have so many elites to eat, it doesn't really matter. Very good. Yep. It's a great sequence. Nicely done. That was beautiful. Hit him again. Yeah, nice.
Hidden by the God Emperor's grace.
Yeah, and because Dark Tide's such a complex game, I'm not necessarily going for explaining to you specifics in all cases. I'm trying to give you principles you can use. Great knife. Good throw. Zealot's eating good right now, bro. This is perfect. This is Zealot's moment. This is what he's just so good at. Yeah. Good job. All right, huge. Great follow-up. Notice these guys are all going to come down, so if you can kill any of them with your laspistol real quick, like the shotgunner there, they will not show up later. They're going to walk into a monster door and come spawn at the lower ground, if they can. But good job, you did really good there. I mean, mechanically, there's nothing I have to say. I think you're doing really well. Technically, I think you're doing really well as well. Yeah, I'm basically giving you just some of the smallest suggestions at this point. There's, for the most part, you're playing very, very well. Slightly different style, but overall, just like, I don't think we're very far apart in skill, actually. I think you're doing quite well. It's just like very small efficiency things. Like that sequence, I am saying like a lot. You'll have to forgive me, I'm recording this as we go, so it's very much that sequence from earlier that I was discussing, where you were not firing into those monstrosities, like the Plague Ogre, for example, and you could be getting more damage per second out of your character than you are. You have a lot of resources that you can take advantage of. Yeah, that's a good target. And you get shot. Yes! What a hit! That was beautiful. You'd love to see it. Good on the flamer. Obviously high priority. Look at how much ammo you have here. Green guy. That was scary. Good block. Hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, there you go. Try to aim down sights and hit him in the mouth. Remember, you get a crit bonus on this gun. Push that. Yep. Good. I think that's fine. We pushed it with that, but remember, you don't get the increased radius. That was easy to confirm. Very good. This is a great sequence. You're doing this really well. Just using a combination of knives to eliminate those specialists, keeping the ammo available. I see you've got that knife tech down to a science.
Veiled in righteousness.
think it's hilarious that you can throw knives while stealth now.
Sounds like we've got a congregation. The only born in Newfoundland that a dead Newfoundland.
If you know this with this weapon, but you actually get 2 heavy attacks. So if you do a dodge after your first your push attack, you can actually chain quite effectively into that group for a great deal more damage and bleed time. And then you do like heavy light after, so you get a nice little heavy light chain. Good, good. Yep. Now you want to be a little careful with your knives here because you need some elite kills. Yeah, go get him. Sucking fire. Thinking about that ammo for the whole time. He's really going back for it, so that's good. Great knife. I tried to push those bombers in melee after I stunned them. And the reason is you're a little low on knives. I want to fill those back up. Ooh, it's close, I think. I like that. Get in there. No, just melee him. Okay, so this is something you've got to identify. You are like, they're staggered right now. They're on the ground. You're close, and you're a zealot. You sprint at them. You pull out your sword, and you kill them quick. And you get 2 knives back, which you can then use to deal with problems that are about to happen. Instead, you're currently spending your las gun magazine on these guys when you could be spending it on the boss to get him weakened up so that you can confirm that one shot for sure. That was bogus. You did not deserve that. Alright, I'm just going to reiterate this again. You get crit bonus, which will give you more Inferno stacks. If you aim down sights on this weapon, I think it's like 10% or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head for sure. I mean, guilty is charged in my case, but also don't copy me on that one. That's obviously bad. See, you have no knives. You could have just walked up to him and hit him. I'm not saying that didn't feel good or look cool, but I am saying that you could have gotten value here and gotten knives back into your kit. Slide. Good maneuver. That was a great maneuver, actually. Puts you in better terrain.
I will find you.
Did any of that. Sort of might be.
Patch whatever ails you, Kindred.
Again, I'm just going to pause here before we get too far, and I'm going to say this. I do not think we're actually very far away on skill. Your skill expression here is really high. Your decision-making moment to moment is really good. This is a good representation of what your mechanical skill and knowledge. I'm noticing too much downtime in your gameplay when you have opportunities to leverage that laspistol's ammo supply when you were closer to like 500. You can just shoot the bosses a little bit more, just to weaken them up. You don't have to go like full ham or anything and like try to get them all the way dead, but keep in mind how much damage it does and then how much easier it will be to get those one-shots or get most of a one-shot and finish it off with a couple extra blows, right? So there's a time efficiency failure in some of these decisions where you're kiting and I think you're stressed out while you're kiting when you should be looking for opportunities to just shoot something or throw a knife or hit something in melee just a little bit more just to try and thin things out. But for the most part, I've said what I need to say where I've said it. Yeah, I would. Go check that box.
Size means nothing, mutant.
First, yeah, okay, good.
Foxwalker, it's gonna explode.
This is a very dangerous situation to be in because this terrain is bad for Plague Over. Now you're in a better one. Good choice. Huge. Break that barrel. You're kiting here. That's fine. Is that a flame barrel? I can't really tell. It's a little fuzzy for me. I thought it was an exploding barrel. I would have blown that up just so that I didn't have to worry about it later. That's a flame barrel. That's fine. I would use that. Watch that barrel. No path to it. Yeah, good. This is fine. You got space here, and you're taking advantage of the space.
I stride in shadow.
Alright, hang on. So the unfortunate thing here, this position is a bad position for you to take this in. You're going for the quick stab, but the reason this is bad, and I'm just going to show you with my mouse because it should be on screen here. Here's the points that enemies can attack you from, okay? As well as above. Okay, they can come down here. And they could come down from behind you, right? They could come down from behind you. I hear a burster kind of here-ish. I can't quite make out his position. There's also a trapper on the field. I think that's her right there, right? I assume this was clearer for you than it is for me in the second order recording, right? So the problem with this choice of a stealth is you have natural terrain to play around behind this corner. And a staircase you can go up. And directly behind you is a second pathing, if I remember correctly on this map. This is a map knowledge thing we're both going to find out. And so that gives you options. But when you play out here, you have this open piece of terrain where you can be shot. And then because you're behind the chaos spawn, you can either go that way towards the bad stuff that you already know is there. Or you can go this way, kind of towards where the burster sounds like he is. But it's also uncleared and unknown, and there's no back out. Like, if you go this way, you are committed and you're about to spend your stealth, right? You have to get there and then either go up the staircase that's kind of up this way, right? Or you have to go all the way out and to the bridge where there's a demon host. And we know all that because you've played down here already, right? So my concern with this is that you actually put yourself into an exposed position from a good position. This position you're in right now is good. Let him push you. He's going to go for a grab next. Stab him in the back, and then push in back this way. I think you live here instead. Let's just watch the sequence. You can see all this stuff dropping down. That sucks for you, right? You're hoping you'll kill this and then have space to move, but he doesn't die because you missed the headshot, I think. That is... Nope. Yep. Okay, that wasn't. There was something there. Let's see what it was.
I stride in shadow.
Shooters. And yes, I was right. There's a staircase here. So there's a staircase here, and there's a staircase around the corner to the right. That gives you two routes. Whereas right now, you have one route, back towards the trapper and all the stuff that just jumped off. Or you can go this way to the right, and that's what you're going to have to do, because you can't go this way anymore. He's going to beat you up, right? And you've got to get away from the trapper, so you're going to have to dodge slide to the right. It's your only option. So you see how you've constrained yourself in maneuverability here? This is all fine. Like, you're doing the right thing in terms of, like, fighting. That sucked. But it was your failure to read his animations. See? You knew he was going to go for it. He made the rear up animation, and then you dodged early, which is why you got grabbed. You needed to dodge right slide out of the way, and you wouldn't be in the fire, which is what is going to kill you here. It is the fire. There's that burster, right? There's the second bomb. And... oh, not until I forgot about that. I thought you were out of until. I gotta tell you, that sucks real bad. Because, like, you almost kind of survived. Because you could have gone up for Medicaid. Like, that was a pure zealot clutch moment. You can't... there is a problem, though. You can't play over here. Like, you're going over here, there's a burster. You get knocked off. But look around. See how there's nothing to do here. This is just a little area where you could... like, at your best case scenario is you kind of just have to, like, duke it out, hit your stim, and hope you can fight without until death, like keeping you without until death and actually win the brawl, which you probably can, because you got stealth almost. But boy, that looks really nasty. That is a situation and a half. Let's just look at it again, see if we can pick out the section. You've got bursters on both sides. One from the staircase here, one from here. Okay. In theory, if you did a forward slide here and pushed and slid, or like just to let you know what you could potentially do. This is a very niche tech that I know about. You do a forward slide. The guy behind you is close enough that you're probably going to have the shove because he's about to jump, right? You do a forward slide and go wrap around this fence. You might be able to get both of them at the exact same time. Yep, you could have, but you're stuck attacking instead. If you had crouch slid forwards, let me back it up. Sorry. I'm trying to show you this because it's like very niche. Probably one of the most niche things I know about. Rather than turning to fight this guy, when you know there's bursters around, this is a panic move, by the way, I can tell. Right there. You see this? Right here. Ignore this guy. Dodge slide, or sprint slide forwards. Go around right to the monster door. The burster that's here that you can hear is going to knock you into the door. The burster that's behind you would probably get shoved. Both of them will get shoved, but this one's going to, get you anyway because the door is not far enough away. But the railing will protect you from getting blown up by this burster, and the wall will protect you from this burster. And so this slide into here with a shove might save your life here. Then you hit your stim, kill something to get your until. And instead, you're unlucky. That's not a totally you death. Like it was potentially recoverable if you didn't get jumped on by two bursters from both angles. But you can see in this video that the precipitation of this problem was your choice to go from the advantageous position. Okay, you know there's a sniper here, by the way. From your advantageous position here, where there's only one shooter around, to get into the open in a constricted space, right? To deal with this. And then failing to kill this guy, now you're cooked. Yeah, that was really telegraphed, but it was hard to see because the door kind of short you. I don't know if he hit you either. It kind of sounded like he did. Burster is just loitering. He's just like being a little piece of shit, isn't he? Yeah. But all of that is downstream of this choice. If you had chosen to back up a little further, killed the shooter, and then focused on this guy when you're in a more cloistered space where you can't get knocked, for example. Because another problem with being here is it's possible for you to get knocked, which is what happens. Like, you're by these railings, right? These railings suck, but I think you turn around here in a second. There's only one railing that you can really get knocked on here. I think this is a fence, and there's a railing by this staircase over here. So if you go up this way, you're actually fairly safe. Something to know for Plague over this area, right? That's a map knowledge thing. Good job on that trapper, I gotta say. I like that you killed him. But yeah, so that's really where you lost this one. There was one other section I just kind of want to go back to, which is your kite around here. Chaos Spawn is not the one that necessarily needs to be shot. You can shoot him and get some burn stacks. But this Plague Ogre, and you see him over there? You could have put some stacks on his little noggin there, and then he would have been nice and weak. Now, I think you one-shot him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Again, slight playstyle difference. But I just think the inefficiency here is this sequence. You could be dodging backwards and shooting people. Got plenty of ammo. So much. Now you're using the pistol, and I think that's great. I don't object to any of this, again, so... I just really think it's like right around here where you could be taking advantage of your laspistol and aren't. Now, maybe you're afraid of the reload slowing you down, but... No, fair enough. So patience can sometimes be the better part of valor, but I'm very aggro at times. This is just too bad, but not a big deal. All right. I think I've sufficiently explained my point. I'm just going to reiterate this again in case I cut somewhere along the line. The difference in our skill level does not seem to be too high. You have really good fundamentals. Your mechanics are there. Your decision making is pretty solid. It's just like little efficiencies that I think are holding you back here, and maybe a little map knowledge, and just understanding that and that last section, your death specifically was putting yourself in a bad situation, thirsting for a quick kill. And when you're playing solos, you can't afford a mistake. You can't afford to be that aggro. You have to, or at least you have to succeed. Like you either have to take the risk and succeed, or you're going to lose like you did. So, and you were in a position where you were already in a good spot, over here. This position right here is really good. This is a solid place to be. You're not at risk of dying here, and you gave it up. And this is a mistake I make all the time too. So I'm not being hypercritical. I'm just trying to let you know that that's why you lost this one. And I think if you address that behavior, you'll probably win these pretty consistently. All right. Well, hey, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it informative. I wish I could have been a little bit more critical, because maybe it would have been helpful. But honestly, so much of this seemed pretty solid to me. And it was really just these little sections that I identified that you will probably get. That's that little last 5% that always holds people up. And I hope that helps you a lot. Warm regards, Professional.